President Obama voiced the fear of most incumbent when he said his party got shellacked during the 2010 midterms. With a similar economic climate and Biden's dismal 37% approval rating, Democrats were bracing for a good old-fashioned Republican shellacking before the latest midterm election. However, after the votes were counted, Biden and his blue buddies had the best midterm performance since 2002. When President Bush's approval rating was a sky-high 75% thanks to post-9/11 patriotism, this time Republicans only managed to eke out a slightly majority in the House, which was a far cry from the red wave they predicted would sweep the country. Now, Republicans will almost certainly use their narrow House majority to block Democratic legislation and make the party seem inept or incompetent. With rising geopolitical tension and the looming recession, this strategy could have set the Republican Party up for a reasonable chance at taking back the White House in 2024. But Trump threw a wrench in these plans by declaring a presidential bid, even though many of the candidates he endorsed during this midterm lost. Looking forward, many Republicans are concerned that Trump's extreme persona will split the party in two and cost them the election in 2024. Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on Funday Investigations. Now that the Republicans have control of the House, but the Democrat controls the Senate, the next 2 years will essentially be a legislative logjam. Conservative Republicans' bill that gets through to the House will almost certainly be turned down by a more progressive Senate and vice versa. Even in the off case that legislations get through both chambers, a Democratic Biden will veto anything that even smells slightly red. Without the hope of passing legislation, Republicans will focus on formally scrutinizing the Biden administration. Control of the House Committee on Oversight and Reform gives prominent Republican representatives the power to open investigation into Biden's policies and decisions, ranging from his sudden abandonment of Afghanistan and handling illegal immigration to connections with his son's business affairs. Republicans now have to wait until 2024 to have another shot at steering the national agenda. Besides Trump, many Americans see Florida Governor DeSantis as a viable 2024 presidential candidate, thanks to his resounding victory during the midterms. Old-school Republicans like DeSantis has the demeanor of a typical conservative politician, but with statements like, "Florida is where woke goes to die," he's right-wing enough for mega hat-wearing middle America. The midterms show that progressive issues such as abortions and gun control will motivate voters to get in the polling booth, even though Democrats will have difficulty passing further progressive legislations over the next 2 years. A Senate majority still grants them important power, such as being able to approve Biden's cabinet as well as ability to appoint Supreme Court and federal judges. Furthermore, the recent elections showed that Biden isn't a galvanizing force for Republicans. In many US elections, voters show up only because they want anybody but the guy in office to win. Republicans might not like Biden, but his grandpa-like persona and memory slips weren't enough for them to get off the couch to vote against the Dems. This shows that Biden's vanilla persona might come in handy if he decides to run again in 2024. By now, you can probably tell Democrats and Republicans disagree just about everything. Based on this, many Taiwanese were concerned that after taking office, Biden would flip on Trump's anti-China policies and potentially put Taiwan on the back burner in order to end the ongoing trade war. However, over the past 2 years, Biden has proven to be even more hawkish than Trump and has directly said American soldiers would come to Taiwan's aid in the event of an invasion. He's also ruffled G by supporting legislation to curb China's influence in tech and trade. More recently, both Democrats and Republicans also overcame partisan differences and both supported House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan. This shows that no matter who controls Congress or the White House, the US will most likely continue to support Taiwan. Moreover, Republicans and Democrats both support the Taiwan Policy Act of 2022. This bill will also certainly pass in some form next year, even with a split legislature. After becoming law, the US will formally change its stance on the strategic ambiguity by making Taiwan a majority non-NATO ally and giving $6.5 billion in security aid so that Taiwan can purchase military equipment. Democrats are heaving a sigh of relief as the so-called red wave of 2022 fell flat. For now, both parties have their eyes set on 2024, when they can have a shot at wresting back control of both Congress and the White House. Until then, the country is in 2 years of legislative wheel spinning and speculation on who will lead their respective parties during the presidential race. So, who do you think the Republicans will rally behind in 2024? Trump or DeSantis? Why do you think Taiwan is just about the only issue Republicans and Democrats agree upon? Let's start a conversation in the comments below, and I'll see you next time on Funday Investigation.